If I could add one thing to your management and leadership, it would be improvisation. Last week, we talked about the importance of preparation, the importance of having a game plan, of having structure as you execute whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Now, we all know that life happens. Life happens at hyperspeed. It changes, it shifts, it moves, and we need to move with it. Last week, I also mentioned something called commander's intent, where the goal never changes, however, the means to achieve it will always change. And I alluded to something Dwight Eisenhower said, which is, planning is indispensable. However, when the battle begins, the plans go out the window. So we, in some ways, need to improvise with all that we do. One of my favorite movies is Heartbreak Ridge, and in it, Clint Eastwood, as Gunny Highway, says on a number of occasions the unofficial Marine motto, which is improvise, adapt, and overcome. I want to encourage you this week to consider improvisation, to consider how improvising needs to be part of your leadership skill set. So maybe the best way to talk about improvisation is not so much talking about the best practices, but talking about what trips us up, what keeps us from improvising. One of the big ones is bias. Our attitude, our opinion about certain things can get in the way of us being open to the improvisational possibilities. Then there's that thing called ego, that part of your personality that needs to be right or has that heightened sense of importance. That can get in the way of improvising. And how many of you love control? How many of you thrive on the idea of being in control? And that can be threatened when you're in change or when you're needing to improvise on the fly. And we all love and appreciate and expect accountability within our plan. However, sometimes when we're in the thick of it, we may not stick to that accountability that's necessary. And lastly, it could be culture is getting in our way. Either it's not clearly defined, or it is defined and no one's really sticking to it. So if improvisation is our rally call and doing the next right thing is important to us, we need to pay attention to these things that trip us up. Yes, improvisation is acting and doing and thinking and being on the fly, especially when it's tied to the right thing. So as we finish up on improvisation, let's be real. The idea of improvisation is pretty easy. However, the implementing of it can be very, very difficult. So let's make it simple. I want to go back to Dwight Eisenhower. When he was president, he said whenever he faced a decision as president, whatever the circumstances were, he would always use a question. An answer to this question was what fueled his decision. His question was, is it good for America? I would challenge each one of you, I would challenge myself to think of our own question when we face the uncertainty of situations and we need to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Maybe the question is it good for our team? Is it good for the company? Or maybe the most important question, because we are in the retail space, is it good for the customer? So take that, put it in front of you this week, and see what happens next. Thanks a lot. Have an awesome day.